Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be walking through another version of Ottergram on BugForge. This is a fun one. It's a cross-site scripting vulnerability where we'll leverage the cross-site scripting to steal a token from the administrator's local storage and exfiltrate it to a server that we control. So let's jump in and see what we've got. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and I've gotten two accounts set up. You'll want two accounts so that you can test some of the functionality before you just start spamming the admin user with a whole bunch of messages and whatnot. So I'm here on my tester one account, and if we look down here, there's a messaging functionality where we can send a new message and select the user I want to send to my tester 2. And I'm just going to send a plain message at first because I just want to see what this does. Okay, now if I come over here, I've got message, and if I open that up, I don't know why it's not showing anything. Let me try this again. Okay, there we go. Don't know why it didn't show up the last time, but it's working now. So now I know that I can send a message between users and that my message is being reflected here, and this is essentially a um, stored medium that's going to persist beyond a refresh. So what I want to try to do now is I want to see if I can get any HTML rendered in here. So I'm just going to see if I can get a strike through. We'll send, refresh. And so we see that this isn't being rendered. Um, so if we look at this and we view this as HTML, we can see that the angle brackets are being uh, output encoded here, the less than, greater than, uh, and and so on. So that tells me that there's something blocking um, those characters from getting through. At this point, I don't know whether that's something that's on the front end or if it's something that's on the back end. So what I want to do is I want to come over to my Kaido and I want to find that request. Um, yeah, here we go. So here's the post request to API messages. I want to send that to my replay. And what I want to do is I'm going to try to resend it from here because if the filter is something that's on the front end, sending it from my proxy will uh, bypass that front end code. And if there's no validation on the server side, we should see this reflected. So I'm going to send that from here. I get message sent successfully. Now if I refresh, now we can see that our HTML is being rendered. So I got a strike through test. So now what I want to do is I want to go back to that message and I want to see if I can get just a basic cross-site scripting payload to execute in the victim browser. So the victim in this case is my tester 2. So um, I'm going to do image source equals X on error equals alert document domain. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to see the domain from which the script is executing, just to make sure that it's not um, just executing locally. Um, so let me send that, refresh, and I get my alert with the domain um, where the where the JavaScript fired. Okay, so cool. We've got cross-site scripting now. So now we need to figure out what we can do with it. So if you look, uh, if you open up your developer tools and you look in your local storage, you see that there's a token stored in your local storage. And there's also this user key with these values here. So I don't know. I'm assuming that the admin has these. Uh, I happen to know that the admin also has a flag key that contains the flag for this lab. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to exfiltrate the entire local storage to a server that I control. And that should allow me to get the flag. So let me come back over here. I'm going to go to quick SSRF. You can use, if you're on Burp, you can use Collaborator. If you're on Kaido, you can use quick SSRF, OmniOst. You can also use a external site like InteractSH or webhook.site. Any of these work just as well. So I'm going to copy this URL. I am going to come back over here to my replay tab, and I'm going to modify my payload here a little bit. So in the on error, I'm going to use the fetch API, and I want to send it to that site. And I'm just going to um, send this one first just to make sure that it's working, and then I'll build up the payload from there. So let me send this, come back over here and refresh. So let's see, did I get anything here? It doesn't look like it. Let me see. Was there something wrong with my payload? There was something wrong with my payload. I didn't close off the um, image tag. So let me send that again. Refresh. Now I got the broken image there. Come back over here and see if I get a connection back. Hmm. Let's see. That looks right. Let me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to app.interactsh. I was testing this before, so let's clear this, copy a new URL, and see. There might just be an issue with quick SSRF. I've had mixed success with that. Um, so let's send this. come back over here and see we get the connection right away on this one. So I'm just going to say it's an issue with quick SSRF. Interact SH worked right away, so we know that our payload is right. So uh, let's start um, let's start building this payload up and see what we can do. So I know that I want to get uh, the full contents of the local storage. So what I want to do is I'll just say secrets equals, and then what I want to do is append um, a a string of um, I want to create a string uh, from the from the local storage. So um, what we can do is we can use a built-in function um, that will create a base 64 encoded string. And I always get these backwards, so let's see if I got this right. I didn't. B to A test. Okay, so yeah, B to A encodes, A to B decodes. I don't know why I can never keep that straight, but I can't. So this is what we're going to uh, use here. We're going to use this B2A function in our payload to create a base64 encoded string of the entire local storage that will hopefully get sent to us, which we can then decode and get the flag. So I want to use B2A, and then I want to use JSON stringify local storage. So let's send that and see if we get a new connection with that extra string there. And we do. So let's take this, let's copy this whole string here. I'm going to go back over to uh, my console here. So we used B to A to encode the string. So I'm going to use A to B to decode this whole string. And we can see that we got the entire contents of the tester2 local storage. So now what I want to do is I want to use that same payload, but I want to send the message to the admin user and not to tester2. So if you look at the uh, request here, you see that the recipient ID is declared using the ID, and it's just an integer value. So what we can do is we can go back to the application and we can look and see if the uh, user ID is leaked anywhere. So if we come back here and we look through the app, we can see that there's a post from the admin. And if we click on the username, it takes us to the admin profile. And if we look in the uh, proxy and we find the request that is going to the admin profile, we can see that the ID is actually leaked here. So we can see that the admin user has the user ID of 2. So now all I need to do is go back over to replay and replace that 5 with the 2, which is the admin user. I'm going to resend. And then I want to come back over to my interact sh. And now I just need to wait for the admin user to check their messages. Doesn't take very long. Now, if we take this whole string and put that in the a to b function, and you can see it decodes it, and we've got the value of the flag right there. So that was this lab. I hope you had fun doing it. I know I did. Um, I found it a little bit of a challenge to kind of work through, figure out what payloads worked, what payloads didn't, and then I thought it was good practice building up a payload from the initial fetch to figuring out that worked, what I needed to do with that, and eventually getting a full payload that exfiltrated the entire local storage to my server and get the flag. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.